Anybody thirsty?
Steady. Oh, that's way too hard. It's gonna fire one way or another, you know what I mean? Party! Oh, come on. Ooh. Blues Brothers car. Nice. Yeah, that one's still full of bees. Really? That's it? Hi, I'm Jamie. This is Dead Dodge Garage, and this is a 1976 Dodge Coronet California Highway Patrol car. Now, as you may have noticed on this channel, I really like working on old cop cars, and I really like driving them in fields. So today, I thought we'd cut out the middleman and just work on an old cop car in a field. That's right. It's a field repair. Much like the 73 Polara cop car I featured on the channel a couple weeks ago, Tom Hergert with Rocket Restorations did a video on this car on his channel. So you should pop over there and check it out if you want to know more about the particulars. I'll give you the Cliff Notes version though. It's got a 440 under the hood, because California strong-armed Chrysler into bringing those back in 1975 on a trial run. And they were so successful, it became a regular option for 76. It's this horrible green color because it was actually illegal for them to be sold in the black and white cop car paint schemes. If you look closely, you will see bits of black paint sticking through in places. There really isn't a whole lot left on it to prove that it was a California Highway Patrol car, except for all the extra holes and this unit number. This Coronet saw daily driver duty in the state of Washington for many years, and probably as a result of that, it is a little worse for wear, with some stuff showing here. It's a little ratty, but man is it cool. Now we were able to fire it up by dribbling fuel down the carburetor when it got here to unload it off the trailer. That only involved a little bit of fire. That's a few cylinders. Steady. Whee! It's a fun ride. Oh, you can do it. But in spite of this, and having fresh fuel dumped down the filler neck, it would not pull fuel from the fuel tank and continue to run. That's a problem. This car has been out of regular use for years, but it's also been parked on the street that whole time, hence the up-to-date tabs. Whoa, that's cool. 1982 and 85 tabs from Washington. So yeah, it's been up here for quite a while. So we're not pulling fuel from the tank. There are a few possible causes for this, and hopefully I brought enough in my tiny box of supplies to fix it right here in the field. Possibility 1, the mechanical fuel pump, which lives here under the ginormous heavy-duty cop alternator, is kaput. And we've definitely got our bases covered there. Possibility 2, clogged filter. That's definitely something we can check for. And possibility 3, the most likely, clogged pickup in the fuel tank. If that's the case, we're screwed. First things first, let's pop the fuel supply line off of the mechanical pump and see if gas just comes shooting out. Well, no, but there are some smells. Old fuel, naturally. Also, is that 3/8 line? Oh yeah, that's 3/8. Had a 3/8 pump on the shelf. Didn't grab it. I also didn't grab pliers. Yeah, going swimmingly so far. With the line unhooked from the carb end, let's see if anything comes out. Oh. Also, it might have developed a battery problem. Great timing, you know. Yeah, positive battery terminal. Looks great. Also, this is probably going to become an electrical fire really fast. Sometimes those fuel pumps dry out and they won't do anything anymore until you give them a little sip of gas. This one's not moving any air or anything, so I'm gonna try and do that and see what happens. I managed to wedge this length of not at all the right size of fuel hose onto the pump down there. And filled it with gas, covering myself in it at the same time, of course. And let's watch. Come on, baby, you can do it. Okay, you can't do it. Also, whew, bad smells, and we're running out of battery. I guess it's a good thing the car didn't drive any further, because, well, it's a bit of a walk already. Oh, look, a trail duster. People keep asking about these. Maybe we'll do a video on them someday. Oh, here we go. Nice. Why did I think this was a good idea? Oh, the tractor shrank. We're walking, we're walking. You know, getting to this thing kind of sucks. Super fun story time. And a learning experience for me. Did you know these cop cars have oil coolers? Well, they do, which is nifty. They pull that oil from the extra port back here that's basically never used on anything. And it's routed through this hose to the cooler. And then from the cooler, it goes out into this return line. Guess where that connects? In one of the fuel pump bolt holes. The regret really didn't take long on this deal. Oh, good. The sun went away again. I'm getting sweaty. All right. That actually wasn't too bad. Aside from all the extra exercise, which I did not want, that really is a genius solution. Of course, those bolt holes are open into the crankcase, so yeah, the return oil just pours in there. Wow. Gasket came off with it. Perfect. This pump wasn't very old. That's interesting. I've checked 3 new pumps so far. Yeah, they're all wrong. We own a lot of stuff here, but we don't own the right fuel pump for this application. So I'm gonna make one. And I've also got option B, because I'm getting tired of walking. Oh, for science, I did test that old pump on the bench. Nothing. It would be really unfortunate to do all this work and find out I was wrong. This whole thing ended up oriented slightly differently, but I did check, and there's plenty of room. Now the only bit of tricky business left is to get the push rod used on the big block Chrysler slid back up into its home enough to sneak the tang on the fuel pump underneath it. That's always fun. There's one thing I love, it's working completely blind in a field. Installing a mechanical fuel pump can actually be tricky if you don't have the engine in the correct part of its rotation. Sometimes that rod will be sticking down too far and you won't be able to get the pump in far enough to align the bolts. In those cases, you just want to bump the engine over a hair. That'll fix it. Ta-da! Like it never happened. Well, I filled the bowls again, and I'm basically out of go juice. Also, lightheaded. Whew, tasty. Anyway, hopefully this works. Otherwise, more exercise. Or fire, that's always a possibility. Go for fire! This thing sounds pretty sweet. Stay running. Don't catch on fire. I think we're good. Also, there's a really weird, annoying rattle noise in here. That was weird. Still running. Does it have a high idle or something? No. The EGR kicked on. Wow. It actually works. I went ahead and made it not work. You know, just for testing purposes. There we go. I fixed 2 vacuum leaks at once. Don't worry about that. Normal leak bug stuff. All right, that's a little low. The choke doesn't work, so it's basically stuck on high idle unless I forcefully remove it. You don't need to address that, but I'm a little worried I might set the field on fire, so better move this thing. Not bad. The oil leak's annoying, but maybe I can improve it. Maybe not. It's worth a try. Oh, come on. Oh yeah, that's totally loose, guy. All right, well, it can't be worse. I have an idea for preventing any potential shorts here. Fixed. Yeah, she's a bit of a smoker, but purrs like a kitten. Even with the factory short protection option installed, I think we'll take it easy on the first lap. I'd hate to send the battery into the fan. It wouldn't be the first time either. I feel like I've mentioned that before. Being a 1976, this Coronet has the newer dash style. It's actually the same dash found in my 1979 Chrysler 300, which is pretty cool. It also has the same COP suspension components. If the gauges are to be believed, we've got good oil pressure and the temperature is fine. We've got all the fuel we could possibly ever want, and the alternator might be doing something. You know, I think I could get used to this. It's a nice ride. Yeah, just as tight on this side, so that's exciting. I think we're gonna need some gaskets. Man, it's a sweet running 440. It did just start idling down again for some reason. It is, in fact, charging. That's awesome. Well, now the level of safety is just off the chart. Nice. Ooh, it came with a spare dash pad. We need that. Who would we even be without this? We'd be nobody. Ditto the cop caps. So fixed. Oh, dang it. Wrong Steelies on the back. Well, it was a nice idea anyway. All right, let's check the fuel gauge. Not much. I'm sure Tom won't mind. It's his car. Wow. It's got one functioning blinker, tabs. It's like legal. It does have some running lights. Could be a bulb problem here. I know from experience though, the sockets kind of suck. In fact, I used to drive a 72 Satellite sedan, very much like this. It had trailer lights mounted to the trunk. The buzzer works. You know, I had every intention of testing this thing on the road, but there's like construction going on right in front of the shop, and there's a long line of traffic. I don't think I want to have anything to do with that. So, we'll just go ahead and test it locally. Oops. Runs pretty good. I really need a corn dog for this. Illegal to have this much fun. Now that I think about it, it may be in some municipalities. Someday we're gonna build an off-road racetrack right here. Personally, I can't wait. This thing will be the star attraction. Whee! Oh yeah. Too good. What an absolute unit. Oh, Jesus. All right. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't go on the road. That guy hasn't moved in like 20 minutes. It's a little more fun over here anyway. I just remembered that Tom watches my videos. If you've ever wondered if you should purchase an old cop car, I'm thinking yes. I'm thinking this one doesn't have sure grip, or at least it doesn't work anymore. Oh look, 64 Plymouths. Hey, if it's still leaking, it's still running. It's circulating coolant, great. It's not even breaking a sweat. This just might be some of the most fun I've ever had. It's really good. The only thing that would really be better, a second one, you know, for reasons. It has rained recently, so that's good. But it's still pretty warm, and the field's fairly dry. So I went ahead and relocated to the short grass. You get out of here. No one wants you around. 1976 Dodge Coronet cop car. The official car of ruining Tom's Field. Although frankly, it wasn't really that great to begin with. I parked this abandoned police car in a field, fixed it, tested it, you know, in the field, and the results are in. It's awesome. I'm very impressed. And I kind of want to own it. Of course, I kind of want to own a lot of things. It's an ongoing problem, actually. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this. I certainly did. And I'll tell you right now, this isn't the last we'll be seeing of the 76. Hey, I finally remembered to point the camera at this 300. I'm kind of afraid to go any closer to it because bees. Hey, there's a big block in there. It's not looking too hot. Neither is anything else, really. Anyway, as usual, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate that. And remember, old Chrysler cop cars. Good life move.